We're not doing Beitzah Chav Beis 22. Madlik Los on air. Even without an Erev Tavshilin, you can light a candle. You can even fry up a small piece of fish. Someone didn't lay an Erev Tavshilin, you can bake a piece of bread for him. You can bury a warm dish in dirt to keep it warm. You can light a candle. You can heat up 1 tea kettle of hot water. Some say you can even fry up a fish. So that's one way to explain our Mishnah. The cases where they were meniach a erev tavshilin. So why does Beis Shammai not allow you to do atmana? Shani atmana the mucha milsa da daita de shabta ko'avid. Well, there's no question. If Friday afternoon on Yontif you bury a hot pot in the dirt, you know for sure you're doing it for Shabbos. So that's not permitted according to Beis Shammai. Eisvi Abaye Chananya Omer Beis Shammai Omer ein oifen elam kin erev b'pas. That Beis Shammai, even with Erev Tavshilin, are very specific. If you baked a bread for the Erev Tavshilin, then you can bake on Yontif. But a Mavashin elam kin erev b'tavshil. You would not be able to cook a cooked dish unless you cooked a cooked dish Erev Tavshilin. And ein toinin on Yontif elam kin hayol coming to an Erev Yontif, unless you actually did the act of Atmana Erev Yontif. Ha-hayul coming to an miyav. Comes out that even when you had an Erev Tavshilin, you were allowed to do Atmana. Afal gav the mucha milsa that like the Shabbos kovid. So that can't be the reason. Rabaya to go and she'ir v'lezev v'lezev in a chanami. He baked, but he didn't do Atmana, so he couldn't do Atmana. The chananya yali b'dvei Shabbos. Then the Mishnah said in zoykvin asa menorah. You did not assemble a menorah. My of it. I mean, what's the malacha? We're talking about an erector set menorah. It came in parts, and you have to assemble it. The mechzi keboine, it looks like you're building. The Beis Shammai Savra yesh binyan b'kelim. That even binyan works by kelim. Ubeis Hillel Savra ain't binyan b'kelim. There is no binyan when it comes to.
What's the halacha by a Lego set on Shabbos? Would that be considered binyan? Would that be like ein binyan b'kelim?
Yeah, and it's
misasek. Would that be like ein binyan b'kelim?
Misasek. It's misasek, I think. A toy. A toy for a child. I think it's misasek. Balmo.
That wouldn't be binyan, but it would be like a binyan b'kelim?
It's also misasek.
Oh.
Playing with a game or a toy. It's. I think it's misasek. First of all, it'd only be chinuch. If it's a child, it's only midin chinuch.
Right.
That you have to prevent them from doing that. I think it's only misasek balmo. And if we all like Beis Hillel, that there is no binyan b'kelim. Ula ikla be Rav Yehuda. Kam shamay zakaf le'lishraga. The servant got up and assembled the candle. If you add shemen to a nair, you're chayv for excessive burning. If you remove shemen, you're extinguishing. He did it lavadaita. He did it without my permission. Amar of kanba shari, to clip off a little wick, make it burn better, is permitted. You have a candle. You're not allowed to have relations in front of a candle. Can you extinguish the candle? Amar lo, no. Efshar b'vaisag. You should go to a different room. Ein lo b'vaisag. Don't have a different room. My efshar lasos machitza. You can build a wall between you and the candle. Ein lo lasos machitza my. You don't have a wall. Efshar lichpois alavasakli. You can cover the nair with a kli. Ein lo kli my. Doesn't have a kli to cover the nair. Amalei osir. So you're not allowed to extinguish the candle. You have a piece of wood burning. You can't extinguish it if you don't want to lose the piece of wood. However, if the reason is so smoky Bishvil shlo yisashin habayis or kedera, that your dish will become smoky or the room will become smoky, mutter, to extinguish it. So for oichel nefesh, it's permitted. So the Gemara says that's not the chachamim. Ahi Rabbi Yehuda, who is mekel ki kamina no l'rabbanon. Boy min habayim merabba malach habayis adleka biyontiv. Can you extinguish a fire on yontiv? Hey chedik sakon nefesh lo kuma boiling. If human life is at risk, of course, afilu b'Shabbos shori, you can extinguish it even on Shabbos. Ki kabu boiling mishum ibud mamon, financial loss. My omerlei osir. You're not allowed to extinguish a fire. What about, we said you can't extinguish a piece of wood if you don't want the wood to burn, but I see, you see, you can extinguish. More says, we don't pass like Rabbi Kikamin and all Rabbanon that are machmir that you can't extinguish it later. Can you put a medicine around the eye on yontiv? Hey, chadik is sakana. If it's sakana nefasha, it's the ikad rira ditza dama dimas or kadachto tchilas uchla. All of these are certain eye diseases, and they're dangerous. Loma boile. The filu b'Shabbos shor, they're permitted even on Shabbos. Ki kama boile soif uchla when it's healing. Upatzuche eine, it's just bothering it. My. Amerlei osir. You're not allowed to do. It's a part of the Indian of refuah. Eisvei ein machabin sabikis. But to prevent your house getting smoky, you're allowed to extinguish. But v'shar like it is shanina, we said no, that's like Rabbi Yehuda, not the Rabban. Ameimar allowed a non-Jew to apply the medicine on the eye on Shabbos. Himself did it. What do you hold? That the need of a choila can be done by a non-Jew. We're talking about she'ein bo sakana. V'amar Vanuna, kol davar she'ein bo sakana, omer lo nachri voise. But hanimili heichav lo mesayeh ba'adei. The Jew cannot help the non-Jew. Avamar, you opened your eyes. Come aside ba'adei to call mechutz potzach. Omer leik razvid kavose. I hold like Razvid, who held that a Jew, there is no Messiah when a Nochri is doing it for you on Yom Tov and Shabbos. V'sharle Messiah ein bo mamish. So on Yom Tov, you're allowed to have a Jew do medicine for you for a cholish ein bo sakon. Ameimer shar lemichel ein ab Yom Tov sheni shel Rosh Hashanah. He permitted, again, for a person to apply medicine on the second day of Rosh Hashanah. On second day of Yontif, even Jews can do it. And that's afilu b'shnei yomim tovim shel Rosh Hashanah. Mashen Dof Beitzah. It's only by mace that they're makel, by second day of Rosh Hashanah. Otherwise, it's a kedusha achas. Or melei anakan ardoy sphere, like the Amri Af Beitzah, that even a Beitzah Shonolda, there's no difference between Rosh Hashanah and Shar Yomim Tovim. That would be permitted on the second day. We don't paskin that way. We paskin that it's prohibited. That maybe Elul, for sure that Rosh Hashanah, the second day is Mamish Rosh Hashanah, because they added an extra day to Elul. That can't be, because Rav China Bar Kana, says from the time of Ezra, there was never a time where Yom Tov Sheni of Rosh Hashanah would be Mamish Rosh Hashanah. Then the Gemara says, they didn't bake thick bread, only wafers. They didn't bake thick bread on Pesach. I guess it could become chametz too easily. But still, Kama pasava, how much is too thick? Ravuna tefach. So Maski for Rav Yosef, you can't bring me a rye from Lechem Aponim. Yomer b'zrizin. The fact that they permitted by Lechem Aponim, Yomer b'sheinan's reason. Non-Kohanim are not Zaris. Yomer b'pasamelo, fine flour, which bakes very well. Yomer b'pasheina melo. Regular Jews don't use fine flour at the base of Mikdash. Yomer b'eitzim yaveshim, base of Mikdash had very dry wood. burned well. Yomer Beitzim Lachim. Imamar Betaner Chan, Yomer Betaner Tzoyne. In the Beis HaMikdash, they had very hot ovens. Regular people don't. Imamar Betaner Shematecha, Beis HaMikdash had a metal oven. Yomer Betaner Shalcheres. So you can't bring me a rye from Lechem Aponim. So on Rav Yirmiyah Barav Shelas Rabbi Yehuda Manu Rav Mai Pasava Pas Meruba. Pasava doesn't mean thick bread. It means baking a lot of bread. It's too much tirchan yontif. Ik Yam Yam Rav Yirmiyah Barav Rav Shelas Rabbi Yehuda Manu Rabbeinu Hakadosh Mai Pasava Pas Meruba. A lot of bread. By my Karolei Pasava. Why was it called thick bread? Mishum de Nefisha Belisha, because there was a lot of dough making. Inami Basri Daitana Pasmeruba Pasava Karolei. Or in the area of that Tana, Pasmeruba was called Pasava. Now, Michte. You determine now, Mishum de Ketorach Tircha de Loi Tzorech. Why do we not allow you to bake too many bread? It's too much tircha. So my Irya Pesach, why did you say you can't do it on Pesach? Shavuos and Sukkot, you wouldn't be able to do it either. Or Zayna, you're correct. The Tana beyond of the Pesach Koi, that Tana was occupied in halachos of Pesach, so he stayed in Pesach. But really, the din applies to everything. Beis Hillel says no. It's when you have an oven full of bread, the bread bakes better. So Beis Hillel says there's no limit to how many bread you can make. Mishnah. Rabbi Gamliel, even though we said he had 3 chumras like Beis Shammai, he said 3 leniencies. Mechabdin Beis Hamitos, that you could sweep the dining room. There's a problem with gumos. If you have a crack, you're going to fill the crack and you're going to be boina. He was mekel. You were allowed to put spices on a coal to perfume the house. You could roast a whole goat night of Pesach. It looks too much like the Beis HaMikdash. That means if you did it for your begodim, spiced up your begodim to preserve the begodim, there's a machlokas. Some say yes, some say no. But to make the house smell good, divrei kol mutter, because it's like oichel nefesh. You don't sweep. In Beis Rabbi Gamliel they did. No. They didn't sweep the dining room. They did it Erev Yontif. But they spread out sheets over it. And then Lamachar, the next day on Yontif, when the guests came in, Masakin and Sadinim, they would remove the sheets. And the house was already clean. Oh, this is permitted even on Shabbos. If you do it from Erev Shabbos. They don't apply the spice on the coals on Yontif. But Vishal Beis Rabbi Gamliel manichin. But Amar Lezer Bar Tzadok, no, you got the Masorah wrong. They didn't do it on Yontif itself. Elamavina Ardvasa Shal Bars, they brought metal bars. They perfumed the bars on Erev Yontif. They plugged up the holes of these bars from Erev Yontif. They brought the bars into the house. Lamachar on Yontiv, they removed the plugs in the hole. The fragrant air came out. Or Merlon cannot for Shabbos mutter lasses. Can you do this on Shabbos as well? So you see, what's the machlokas? Is it lagamer? We see here, Rabbi Gamliel didn't even allow any cut of gamer. There, it was a machlokas even to perfume the house. One said osir, one said mutter. Aval gamer, your clothing, osir according to everybody. We asked the following question: can you smoke fruit? Rav Yirmiyah Amar Rav osir, Shmuel Amar mutter. Ravuna Amar osir v'nei shemachabeh. Because by putting a piece of wood to smoke up the coals, you're extinguishing. And Rav Nachman, the name of Marv, you're also causing more flame. The beginning, you're extinguishing, and in the end, it's mavir. So you're over two things. On Rav Yehuda Gabi Kachelas Osir. And on doing it on coals would be Osir. Gabi Cheres Mutter, that we'll learn tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow